Hi guys, it's me again. So I had a comment on one of my videos asking what happens if your cane doesn't come out as you plan, if it's not correct. And I just wanted to show you an example of that because I did have a cane that I don't think came out okay. So this was a flower that I made a while ago. Get a straight edge there. Okay, and the reason I didn't like it was because I didn't pack clear around it. And so it's like when you cut it, I'm cutting out half of the flowers with it. And I didn't like the way this turned out, so I decided to use it another way. So if you have a cane like that, you just grab a bunch of scrap clay. You could even use this right here. Nah, I don't want it too big. Okay, and this is what I do with them. And basically, let me turn this, get this up. My workbench is a mess. I didn't plan on making a video tonight, but I just wanted to show you this real quick. Even canes that don't come out, or first of all, you got to realize that we're our own worst critics. And when you think a cane looks horrible, it probably isn't horrible, but we always think it is because we have it pictured in our mind one way. And when we see it, then we see the mistake. Now, if you looked at that flower and didn't see anything, it's because, you know, I don't know, you thought it looked good. But to me, I see the mistakes that I made because this isn't how I envisioned it. So you can grab any scrap clay. This was from the last flower that we made a couple days ago, the Christmas flower. So it was just sitting out here. So basically, you just take some of that bad cane. Okay, and I'm just putting it around a round bead. And then I'm going to make this a swirl bead. And I'm sure you've seen videos on swirl beads. They are everywhere. Okay, so I just covered the base. And you can use like, when you get really bad clay and you get all the muddy colors, you can use the muddy colors underneath this as a base. You don't have to use anything that matches this. Just make sure that you cover your muddy base completely. So I can make two, and I'm sure I've got to have some muddy colors around here somewhere. Maybe I don't out, but any color will work on the base as long as you cover it all the way up. Okay, so here we go. Here's some ugly gray. So we're going to do two of these beads. Now, you can go really thin, you can go thicker. I don't go this thin, or I usually don't go this thin because I do sand all my pieces. And if your clay is really, really thin, you're just going to sand to that gray layer, and you don't want to do that. So don't make your pieces too thin when you're covering the base. And it doesn't matter how you're putting them on. You just basically want to cover every single piece of gray there. And if there's anything left over, just squish it. Okay, so there's two. Okay, and as far as swirl beads, take a piece of acrylic. This is probably the best thing to use, is the acrylic bot. You can buy these at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, anywhere. It's just a rubber stamp acrylic block. Okay, and you're just going to set it. And the way I do it is I use my index finger, my thumb, and I keep two fingers on the table, and that way I know that this is level, because you want to keep this level. And you want to spin. If you get to the side or that way or a little bit off, you'll know, because this will start turning into like an oval when I'm trying to keep it round. So I just use my fingers as a guide, and I just start rolling. Okay, so you'll start to see it swirling. Big thing with this, if you pick it up and look at it, make sure you put it down in the same way you picked it up, or else you'll switch the design. It'll start reversing itself, and you'll reverse your pattern. You don't want to do that. And you can go left or right, whatever's easiest. I just automatically go to the right when I do it. Okay, so that side looks really good. This side not quite, so I'm almost there. Okay, I'm going to make this into a lentil. So what I'm going to do, see, you can see how it's starting to get off center and it turned like kind of oval. That's because I'm not straight. So if that happens, just make some wide turns like this, really wide, and you'll get it back into that bicone shape. And then you just make sure that you keep straight. And sometimes they don't work out. Sometimes the swirl just does not work out the way you want it. Okay, so anyways, there's one. Okay, and then I think this is the one with the gray. It's perfect that I'm using this color because I had made a necklace with this cane a while ago, and I ran out of lentil beads, and I was so happy that I had a little bit of this cane left over because I needed another set of beads. So this is perfect because now I can finish my project, which I'll show you in a minute. Okay, that looks good. I'm just going to roll it a little more, and I'm just going to flatten it. And to me, see how thin those edges are? I hate trying to drill through that because I always think that I'm going to go off to the side. So what I do is I just put my hands around that edge and I just push it a little bit into a circle. Okay, and then it just gives me more of a disc. Now I know where to put my holes. I normally put my holes in after baking because I don't want to distort it. Sometimes that can present itself a challenge. You can't fix them if you screw up, so you gotta make extra. Okay, so now we have 2 beads, and here's a couple more that I made. So this was a crap piece of it's cane. And look at how pretty they came out. And I'm not really into that color, but I made this necklace last night. I'm still working on it because I wanted to make 2. So it's not quite complete. But I mean, look at that. You know, you've got really pretty reds, orange, and yellows, and you've got that green that will it just makes the whole thing pop with the green. And I also made this. And this is just I don't know what you want to call it, a focal bead with a fringe. And I put that on top, but I love the way this looked without the fringe too. So I thought I'd make another one, and that way my customers can have the choice of whether having the fringe or not. So I'm going to hang this up real quick, and I'm going to try and move the camera so you can see it better as it's hanging. Again, my office is a complete mess here, but... And there we go. So if we have this hanging on there, you know, that would be gone. Obviously, it would stay like that, and I'd probably put a couple of yellow seed or gold seed beads in there. And there you go. So that's it. That's what you can do with the scraps. So even if you make something and it doesn't come out right, don't throw it away. It's not trash. You did not waste any cane. You didn't waste any clay because you just use those for a base and you can make something like that. Just a swirl bead. Here's another one that I made the other day. Okay, and these were just flower beads, but I did the same thing. Yeah, let's see if I can take this off. I feel horrible showing all this in such a messy office, but I have a local show. And so, yeah, it's pretty bad. I'll turn around and I'll show you my floor right now. It's not good. Let's see. And so, that was just extra flower pieces that I had. I didn't have anything but the ends left. So I just took those ends and I made a really, really nice focal bead. And I took some of those flowers that were on the beads and I just added some crystal on there, and it made a really pretty necklace. I don't know if people wear tassels or not. I don't wear them myself, but it seems to be in right now. So we'll pan you over here. And I mean, you'll be embarrassed, but this is where I work. I mean, I've got everything in here, and there's one of my animals, two of my animals over there. One's got his butt to you. And this is my studio, and everything's on the floor. There is just crap all over the floor because that's how I work. And I don't know how I work in it, and I clean it up every morning, but I pull everything out. And then on this side is my torch and all my glass. So that is where I do my glass beads, which I've got a ton of them here. And I still have a whole lot of jewelry to make with my glass beads that I've made. So it's been a busy week, and I just wanted to show you that real quick. Sorry for the mess, but that's how it's going to be for the next 2 weeks. And we will talk to you on Sunday. Bye.